All right, everybody, we are here with episode number 3 of getting to know the speakers at Millionaire Mastermind for. Listen, if you've been living under a rock and you haven't heard about it, our event is coming up May 1st, 2021. We are raising money for these two incredible programs right here, Ambit Cares and Ambit Energy Aid. And really what we decided to do is there's a lot of incredible speakers that are going to be speaking at this training and just donating their time to try to help you get back on that path to success. And for our third interview, we get to interview a couple that is just absolutely incredible. I remember, kind of growing up in Ambit and watching them just rocket to the top of Ambit Energy through. I think they must have skipped RC and SE because they got to EC and rocketed to National Consultant and into the $1 Million Club. So, listen, without further ado, I want to bring on the third interview. One of my favorite couples in all of Ambit Energy. National Consultants, Kim and Jim Mason. Woo! Hey, welcome, you guys.
Hi.
Thanks for taking some time out. I know you guys, kind of have been living life and enjoying your success, but I appreciate you guys agreeing to speak at this Millionaire Mastermind. It occurred to me that some people may not know you as well as we do, so do me a favor. Let everybody know a little bit about you guys and what you did before Ambit Energy.
Wow, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we didn't do anything.
Right.
It's we've been involved in Ambit now a little over 10 years. So when we think about what we did before Ambit Energy, that seems like another lifetime ago. Ambit's really become, who we are, part of our family, part of our lifestyle, and it's been an amazing journey. Prior to Ambit, I was a registered dietitian. I also a certified dyslexic educator, so I taught young children how to read, people who had dyslexia. I was homeschooling our kids. We had an extremely busy life. We lived in Western New York in a small little rural area, not many people around us at all. So don't ever let that be a deterrent when you're going to approach somebody, because if they've got the burning desire in them, they'll make it work, whether they're in a populated area or not. And then Jim was running a landscaping business. I'll let him fill you in on that.
We had a landscaping business with almost a dozen employees for about 25 years. And while it may have looked rosy from the outside, and we had all the trappings of success, I never felt successful. And I had this thing in my mind. It's like, why do you have to work so hard to just break even? And it seemed like I was on a treadmill. And we had gotten frustrated enough where we were willing to basically burn the ships. And in that, I mean, we made a decision to sell the landscaping business after 25 years. It was profitable. It was a great business. But as I got older, the toll that it took on my body, mentally, physically, and emotionally, was too much. And so we looked up, and we spent, I think, about 6 months wondering about franchises and other businesses and just going and getting a regular job. And none of them made sense to us until we discovered Ambit. And quite frankly, even that didn't make sense to us initially. We didn't know what it was.
Say you.
Kim recognized it right away. She really
that's like most people, right? I think most people can relate to that. So tell everybody kind of how you kind of happened upon Ambit. How did you get introduced to it? How'd you get started?
It's a great story. Some friends of ours that we had known for probably 20 years called us, and they said they had a business idea. And Greg actually drove 30 minutes out of his way on his way home from work one night. And I told him, no, don't come. I'll give you an idea how bad it was. We had a rental property, and I had actually stacked pallets up in the back of a pickup to get up on the roof because I couldn't climb a ladder. My knees were so shot from working. And I was struggling through, man. I was going to keep doing it until I died. And he tossed a magazine in the back of the car, and he said, make sure Kim reads this.
Which was a good decision, because Jim came threw the magazine on the bed and said, Greg and Beth want you to read this magazine. And they're really good friends of ours. So I crawled into bed that night and I read the magazine. And it was a Success from Home magazine that had a DVD inside of it. So I was able to watch the opportunity. And I remember I put that in and I just kept watching it. And I kept stopping on the 7-level payout. And I just kept looking at that thinking, could this really be true? And I remember the deregulation of telecom back in the 80s and 90s. I had encouraged a lot of people to switch to a lot of different telephone long distance suppliers at that time, didn't make any money out of it. And I thought, well, if we could have done it with telephone, I bet we can do this with electricity. And I tried to wake Jim up, but he was fast asleep. I pretty much knew after that night of watching that magazine or watching that DVD and reading that magazine, we were going to do this. Jim didn't quite think we were going to do it.
It's really interesting, and it's important that you get on the same page quickly as possible. She signed up without me, and when the checks started coming, they didn't have my name on it. Yeah. Now, I had in my mindset.
He said he didn't want to do it.
I had in my mindset that this was just Greg and Beth. 20 years earlier, we had done another network marketing business with them, and I figured this was their opportunity to get even with me, and I was not interested in anything network marketing. What I didn't realize is the differences, and that's key to looking at any business. What's different about this than the mindset that you have? And it took me a little while. I think probably by the time we were senior consultants, which happened pretty quickly, we worked it legitimately, and I think that's about when I started to realize, holy smokes. And then looking back on it, I asked Kim just this morning, where would we be if we hadn't done Ambit? And man, that's a scary question.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So that's further proof behind every good man, there's a even better woman.
I'll give you that.
So you guys, your journey wasn't, without its pitfalls and issues. So throughout your journey, if you can kind of think back, what was one of the kind of the toughest times that you had in growing your business, and how'd you guys get past it?
I think one of the hardest obstacles for us per se was my immediate family. My parents and my siblings were not supportive. In fact, they were unsupportive. They did not want us to do this, and they literally threw loopholes at us. And that's kind of like devastating. You take that to heart. But what we did is we turned that and we said, that's going to be our reason. We're going to show them that this works. And I remember, as your belief, this was for us, as my belief rose, and as your belief will rise, for those of you who are listening, once you get it from your head to your heart, and beyond a shadow of a doubt, you've got your hands on something that's amazing, you'll stand up for yourself. And I remember going into my parents and my brother one day, and I threw that Success from Home magazine down on the table, and I basically said, this is legit, this is real, this is what we're doing. I don't care if you disagree with me, but you better sure support me. I'm your daughter, and in this, I believe in this. And we just stuck to our decision on what we had come to believe in. And it took a while, and it takes a lot of people out of the game. I mean, when there's a lot of new consultants, they get started and they go to their brother or their mother and they tell them, get out, that's a scam, that's pyramid. And they fold. And like you always say, Jim, it's whoever has the strongest belief wins the argument.
It's interesting. And that, when you asked the question, what ran through my mind, what were some of the struggles or the things that you had to overcome? I had to overcome myself. I was kind of an outside guy. I didn't like crowds of people, and I'm certainly not a public speaker, and had no desire to learn or want to grow into that environment. So for me to think that you could be a leader in a business and inspire people to do things that maybe they weren't comfortable with, I had to conquer that fear myself. And it's enormous to think that you can change, but it's only in that change that real growth becomes possible. I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they said the more times you challenge yourself in your areas of uncomfort, the faster and the more growth you're going to achieve. That was powerful.
And that's a little inkling of what Jim's going to talk about at the training on those first. So
well, I can't wait to see. I bet there's more people that can relate to you, Jim. Like I can relate to you.
I know.
Than not. I promise. I promise. I didn't want to be doing this or be on stage either. So, but look at us now. So listen. Hey, everybody. Come out. Check. I'm not going to tell you what they're going to speak about. You're going to have to show up to find out. But come out and see this incredible couple. They're going to speak at Millionaire Mastermind 4. They both have some amazing topics. Listen, I want to thank you guys for taking some time out of your day to do this interview, because listen, like I said, it's important for people to know who's going to be teaching them how to get back on that path to success. So I can't wait to see you guys in person, hopefully at Ambition 2021. Thank you guys very much, and have an awesome day. Okay.
Thank you for having us.